Dear Creativity, thank you for sitting with me as I doodle, for keeping me company and encouraging the next dot. So simple, and yet it feels so good to make them. You change my perspective all the time. When you inspired me to add dots to Pugly's back, it made me so happy to do it. That final touch that made the mismatched paws feel right and the blue lines on the face make sense. Our perfectly ugly Pugly, not another one in the whole world like them. But back to the dot. A wonky circle blob that brings me to the beginning. When was our first mark together? 2 years old? 3, 4? Just give me more. Thank you. I know you'll never stop. You move my hand from dots to lines to endless shapes that fill my heart. I wonder, can we ever tire of the 5-petaled flower? Impossible. Repeats are my meditation. You're so wise. Then you open the door to patterns, to the motif, so fancy a name for a blob dot. It's French, yes. They just know how to elevate everything, like bread. And you're baked right into that too. You're everywhere, in me and out there, like manna from heaven. An open dot now. How you open my mind. This one next to that one. And now a big one. Almost out of ink, but I love the effect. Dots on top of dot. Now you have me where you want me. My heart is beating faster. Oh my goodness. I will do, dot, make, create, whatever you say next. Hi, thank you so much for watching the video. My name is Alma Cox, and I wanted to just jump on here to share a couple things that I want to add. That is, the first is I've discovered generative AI using Photoshop, and I'm not going to do a tutorial, but I am going to describe this for you. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that you can use to help guide you. And I'm sure that there are other ways to create generative AI, not just with Photoshop, but I created the cute French bulldog on the chair behind me using it. And what I did was I created an image with my 2 patterns, and I selected the whole thing, and then I asked the tool to create a traditional looking chair with the pink pattern and a pillow with the striped pattern. I asked it to change the wall color, and it created this image. And I tell you, it's an addiction. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to show you some more images as I continue speaking with you some of the ideas. Now, it's not perfect, and that kind of rubs the perfectionist in me the wrong way, meaning sometimes the patterns are a little wonky. And so as I add images to my portfolio, I just want to be careful and make sure that the patterns do really look good, because that's what, that's about, the portfolio. So the other thing that I wanted to share is I have a Substack newsletter. Some of you may have come to this video through the Substack newsletter. If you have, thank you so much for joining my newsletter. And if you're coming to me from YouTube, I do write a little bit more about the inspiration behind the footage that you just saw in that newsletter. I wanted to add, though, that how I feel about trusting our own creativity and how important I think it is. I like to characterize creativity as a she, like she lives in me kind of thing, and creativity lives in all of us. And in my 25 years, she's never let me down. As long as I show up, she shows up too. And I want to just emphasize for those of you who are aspiring creators that I just want to debunk that creativity is an elusive or fickle entity that lives outside of you. She doesn't. She lives inside of you. And I'd like you to possibly picture her however you want, like maybe as a cute French bulldog on a chair dreaming up the next inspiration that she's going to give you. Or you can think of her as this ever-present, flowing river that is plentiful with ideas. And really, the best thing that you can do is just be super grateful for every single idea that she gives you. I know that I, for one, in the past have been critical and I've been demanding, and I'll get these ideas like, that's not cute, or I'll make an artwork and think it's ugly or whatever. And it's just not very kind to creativity, who shows up, every time that I do to be that way, right, with her. So I'm practicing being kinder, more grateful, and I'm seeing the benefits of it because she's giving me so many more ideas, which leads me to my next point, how expansive creativity is. I'm going to spend my whole life basically chasing these inspiring ideas. They will never run out. There will be so many more ideas than I can ever make anything with. And the other thing is that she's extremely lofty, and she holds the bar higher and higher, and sometimes I just get a little frustrated, like, well, I'll never be able to make that because it's beyond my skills or beyond my resources or beyond my time. And I also get tired. So, but the important thing is to stay on the path and just do your best. So in the Substack newsletter, I write about how I had this inspiration for this whole animation, to use Pugly, which is the first character that you saw in the video, the first illustration. And it was awesome in my mind, but to make that dog, it would take, or the animation, it would take so long. And so what you just saw is the compromise. But along the way, I did learn new skills. And I think that's the point, it's just to keep going, to keep doing, so that we learn and we grow and we expand. And, creativity is sort of like, come this way, come this way. She's always encouraging us with those big ideas. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all I have. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I would love to hear your comments, and let me know if you try, making some images, and let me know too if it would interest you to watch a how-to video on how to do that, because that's something that I could easily put together. All right, that's it. Thank you again. Happy creating.